right now, but if you're watching on the replay, I want to thank you for being here. We are talking about our 2026 goals, and I've been wanting to do this live for a little while since kind of the first, and today is the fourth when I'm doing this. So, we're going to talk about that a little bit and kind of the procrastination maybe of me getting on here and why that has to do with my goals. But we're out here and it is 2026 now. So for those of us who are goal planners, goal setters, those of us who like to go after our goals and our dreams, this is a really exciting time. And it is for me too. I'm super excited that it's a new year. I always say that we can start our goals any time of the year, any time of the day, or of the week, or of the month. It doesn't have to be a big, momentous thing. But at the same time, when we have a momentous thing like the new year, January 1st, or a new month, or our birthday, or new or full moon, something like that, it is nice to have that boost of kind of energy, I guess, that inside of us, like we're excited to get started, we're excited to do this new thing, and it pushes us along a little bit. So I do say, yes, we can start at any time, but for a lot of us, we start a goal and we don't finish it. So it's exciting to have these kind of times that can give us that boost, that push that we need to get started. So I am sitting here on January 4th when I wanted to do this on January 1st, and I didn't. I didn't do the live. I didn't do my videos like I thought I would over the last 2 weeks because I was home with my kids and working from home and everything. But I didn't follow through with that, and I was going kind of down that hole of being disappointed in myself and wanting to get back on here and plan for my goals and do my vision board and everything. And I didn't do it. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that today, or other things happen. I don't know about you, if you have kids and you're at home and they take up your time, of course you want to be there with them. You want to kind of have that family time. And that's what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. Um, I've been relaxing kind of for the first time in a year. I know that sounds dramatic. Of course, I have like movie time and time that are down times. Hello, fellow dreamers out there too. Thanks for joining this live event today. And I'm talking about our 2026 goals and how we can kind of come at them with the mindset that is healthy, that sets us up for our goals so we can be ready for them this year in a way that we follow through, because sometimes we don't follow through, and that's okay. It really is. Sometimes we start at one place and it just doesn't work and it fizzles out, or we start in one place and it takes us a completely different way, and that's okay too, to follow a different plan or different path. But I was planning on coming out here. I'll finish my story, my thought. And I didn't. I almost like couldn't make myself do it because I wanted to show up with the energy and the wanting to do videos and everything. And instead, what I've been doing is kind of cleaning my house and being with my kids and my family, cleaning out like the attic and everything, like really, really getting in there, you guys. And I thought, why is this not a part of my goals? How come this time of rest and getting ready for the year can't be a part of our goals, even if that's the whole month of January that we're mentally getting ready? You know how they say that when like you're pregnant or gonna have a baby and you're nesting, I always picture a bird like clawing the ground, getting ready. That's what I feel like I've been doing, is preparing. I have tons of goals for 2026, so many that I'm really fully planning on following through. And I feel like if you're in this spot right now where you're preparing, you're getting ready, you're getting your area ready or you're getting your space and your mind ready, then I think that's totally fine. I think it's okay. It can be a part of our goals to add that kind of rest. And I was feeling down about it and I was like, I have a goal channel and I talk about going for goals and I'm not even getting started yet with 2026 in a way that I was like not writing them down. Like we always have these thank you for the compliments if you're on the live. So sweet of you. I always have them in our minds. We have our goals in our minds. I like to write them down. It kind of feels like we're making a contract with ourselves when we have them written down. So today we're going to talk a little bit about having a slow start to the year and being okay with a slow start to 2026, because I know that we hear it all through December, like, oh, we can do this last push for the month and get our goals done for the year and get ready for the next year. And we're going to have a rush into the new year and really push to get those goals done too, or started. Sometimes, let me know if you're like this, that feels overwhelming. It really does. And I was thinking about this whole New Year's resolution and how just the first of the year gets us started on these resolutions, which are goals. Are they the same thing? I was thinking about that too. I was like, are resolutions the same as goals? And I think they kind of are. But really, if you think about it, January 1st is just one more second of time when the clock turns over and it turns into a new day. And it can be a momentous time. It is exciting for us to have the energy boost to go for our goals. But really, if we have a slow start to the year and plan out our time and our goal fully, I think that it'll help us ease into it a little bit with less stress, and then we can follow through even more. So that's what we're talking about today. And as an example, my sister and I talk about our goals and everything. And she sent me this snapshot of an Instagram post that was this one woman writing her goals down. And it was like all this water and exercise and making sure to get up at 5 a.m. and doing all this stuff. It was exercise related. And I thought, you know what? Those are great. I think that's great to do, and especially if it works for you. But as we know, I think 95% of goals aren't reached. And I think it's because of this, all or nothing type thing. We start the year, we're going to go to the gym every day, we're going to do all these things. And that's too much stress for us. And especially when we're living life a certain way, we're living life the way that we do, and then the next day comes and we want to completely change everything. And I'm out here to say that you are okay the way that you are, first of all. And then, as an add-on to that, it's okay to want growth and a little bit of change. That's okay. Goals are okay. But they don't necessarily need to mean that we're changing everything about ourselves, that now it's January 1st and we're going to be this new person and we are throwing away the old person and we're bringing in this new thing. And if you feel that way, it's fine. I'm not saying that that's bad. I just feel like it adds a lot of pressure to us. And I feel like there is this thing, I have notes, so don't mind me looking at my notes, but I feel like there is like the push of new year, new you, and reinvent yourself and, go away for 30 days and come back a new person. And I think that kind of mentality, if it works for you, like I said, great. But that kind of mentality somewhat puts a halt to our goals early. It's hard to follow through on that. It's hard to mentally have that in our minds. Like my sister is one. I love my sister dearly, and I try and help her through this because I think that our mental state is so important when we are doing resolutions, when we are going for our goals, and when we do want to grow as people, we need that mental health to be there also. So, um, it's a new year and it's full of new possibilities, right? We like to have that kind of boost, but let's have it in a way that we don't have to have everything in the beginning, that everything doesn't have to start right now. And when I was thinking about this and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm a little bit behind because here it is January 3rd or January 4th, and tomorrow's the 5th, and I haven't started all of my vision boards and my planning and everything. And I thought, wait a minute. Yes, it's a new year, but we have 365 days in this year. If we like to goal plan for the whole year, which I like to set up my year, the calendars are set that way, everything, okay? Um, but it doesn't mean that we have to get it all done right now. We have 365 days to get it done. So it is okay to ease into this year, to ease into our goals and take them in a way that is a step-by-step approach to building on each other, instead of saying it's all or nothing. If I miss a day at the gym, it's over. If I don't drink the water that I'm supposed to, oh well. Guess what? There's another day. You're gonna wake up tomorrow. You're going to have another chance to keep going with your goals. And the other thing that we all know, and we know that well, is burnout. And we know that sometimes we can do this to ourselves. And I felt a little bit of this last year because I did go for my goals. I had lots of goals last year and I did achieve most of them. And that was very exciting. But they didn't stop. Here's another example. Like, they didn't stop in December and start new in January. They're continuing on, just like we're going to do right now when we're thinking about 2026 goals. So I lost my train of thought a little bit there, the burnout thing. And I feel like the last 2 weeks was a recoup and rest. And maybe you're in that right now. Maybe January needs to be like that for you because you want to prevent that burnout. And you want to set yourself up for success. And I like to talk a lot about that on this channel because I want to come at this at a way that will relate to you as real people. I am a busy working person. I'm in the USA, and we kind of go sometimes in whatever country we are. It's kind of a personality, I think. That's what I feel like, but I go. I got burnt out last year and I kept going. So the last couple of weeks felt like a recuperation time, a rest time. One day I slept in until 8:30. I don't know when the last time was that I did that, but it was very nice. So when we're setting up our goals, if you're here in the live chat, I want to know what your goals are because I like to use the goals that I have, and then some of my friends maybe or that I hear that are common ones. But I want to know what you're going for because this year I really feel like we have all the possibilities when we're sitting here at the top of the year and we can look out over the year. What do you feel? Is it overwhelming? Is it exciting? That's kind of how I feel. I feel like it's extremely exciting to see the calendar and make the plan. I kind of have a plan for every month. I don't know how you guys do it. That way, when I have it like that, it can be step by step, and then it feels less overwhelming that way. So if you can take your goal, this is what I like to do. I wasn't quite planning on talking about this, but this year a lot, I'm going to be talking about picking a goal and how we accomplish it step by step. We pick it, we write everything down about that goal, and then we just kind of dissect it and take it one step at a time. one piece at a time. And yes, it's January now, but we're not going to do that whole goal today or this week or this month. Maybe some of us, maybe you can accomplish the goal this month, but the purpose is to kind of spread it out throughout the year. Give yourself some patience and grace in getting that done. And I wonder if the 95% of goals that fail, that I've heard, that astounding percentage, right? It kind of prevents us from getting started. But I wonder if we gave ourselves a little more patience, if we would stick with our goals more, if we gave ourselves a couple more months to get them done. Um, a lot of people have weight loss goals this time of year, right? Let's say you want to lose 10 pounds or something this year. Not trying to be triggering, but I have weight loss goals too, or exercise goals and everything. So let's say instead of, oh, I need to lose that 10 pounds by March, that you gave yourself the whole year even to do that. Would it be more enjoyable for you, first of all? Because that's kind of the point of goals. And yes, we think of weight loss and we're like, oh, we're going to be hungry and we're going to be walking or running or doing some kind of exercise all the time. But what if we slowed that down? Any kind of goal that you're doing, maybe you're writing a book or you're starting a class or learning how to paint or sew. Behind me is our sewing machine, and my daughter is doing a blanket, and we're kind of doing it together and step by step. And I'm telling her, we don't have to get this done during the break. We don't have to do it right now. What if we had that kind of mentality that we brought to the table with our goals and gave ourselves that time? I talked to somebody at the pool yesterday. I went and swam and did my laps, and I've made a friend there. And that was really fun because she said the same thing. She was like, oh, I told my husband I made a friend. I don't have very many friends personally, so that was kind of fun to talk to her about. And she said the same thing, and that was kind of funny. But she also told me something about patience. She brought up that word, and I was like, oh my gosh, that meant so much to me because I'm coming at this year, we're starting this year, and I was already down on myself, like I said at the beginning, about not getting started right away and maybe not finishing what I wanted to over these last 2 weeks, and maybe not starting all my goals on January 1st, partly because it was on a Thursday and I go back to work and the kids go back to school tomorrow on Monday. And it feels like that's when it needs to start. This whole January 1st thing is weird. It needs to be the Monday after January 1st. So who's with me there in that kind of thinking? This weekend still needs to be a little bit of the rest and kind of preparation time. But she said the word patience, and it was like, it kind of like went out. I felt like that word even spread across the whole year with trying to get everything done that I know I have a lot on my list, a lot of goals that I want to accomplish this year. And one of them being my planner that I designed. I have a planner coming out this year that I'm publishing, and it's not quite ready yet. And then it has to go to the printer, and I have to wait a little while to get that prototype to me, and then wait a little bit to do photos and get it out there and get the, marketing out there, and then wait for the printing. And I thought I'd love for that to come out in March or April, but in reality, it's probably not going to be until June. And I know that. I know it's going to take longer than I think it will, because usually when we're doing our goals or working on a project, let me know if this happens to you. It always takes about twice as long or 1.5 times longer than you think it will. So if we already know that going into it, would it take some pressure off of us? And would it allow us to not only go through all of those motions, but to stick with it until the end? So now that we're here in the new year, let's kind of have our goals and add some time to it, add some patience, add some of that grace, and allow ourselves to go through the whole process from start to finish with some maybe breaks in the middle, with some, some of that patience with ourselves to get it done and allow ourselves to enjoy the process. I know that I don't always do that. I always think, oh my gosh, I have this project like coming out with my website in 2025. I thought it would be a weekend. I thought it would not take very long. I have all these pictures already. All I have to do is kind of plop it in there and it'll be fine. Push the publish button. And it did not happen that way. And because it didn't happen that way, it was disappointing. And hi, Lucas, thanks for joining. But because it didn't happen, I was disappointed in myself. And I thought, well, I've failed. I wanted to get it done by May, and it just didn't happen. In reality, it did take a little bit of a break, but in reality, it took like 3 months later for it to come out, 4 months later. And I think that that's where we get a little bit stuck with our goals, is that we need to give them more time. And we're sitting here, we still have 361 days of the year. That is time to get our goals done, or a piece of it done. Maybe you're in college or something and you need all 4 years, and that's fine. But this year, you're going to get a piece of whatever it is that you're working on done. And we're going to build in that patience and that time to allow ourselves to have that growth and that development that we're after with that goal. Because really, that is why that's why we're doing the goal, because we're looking for that kind of growth. So I'm your favorite YouTuber. Thank you so much. That's great. I'm planning on coming out here with a lot more videos this year to inspire you and hopefully keep you on your goals, and come out and remind you that, and because it helps remind myself too, you guys, I am not perfect with this. I need these reminders as well, that we need that kind of patience. We need that kind of grace, and we need to, I always say, like that bulldozer. You picture bulldozers like slowly pushing something. They're not pushing that dirt like all the way. It's going to fly all over the place and be hectic. But if we come at it at a way that we're slowly moving through, and we're doing this together, right? You're not alone. We can get to not the end of our goals, that accomplishment. We can get to that point where we're thinking, I did it. I showed myself that I can do it. Now I get to reap the benefits, whatever those are. And now I have the confidence to move forward with my next goal. So that is why I'm out here. I love sharing my journey and my goals with you. And I hope that you'll share yours with me. I really want to know what you're working on. What's your struggle? Maybe you're afraid to get started, and that's okay too. That's very real. I was afraid to get started with some of my goals. We all are. Sometimes there's that big learning curve in there, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to learn this. But like I said, if we break it down and take it one step at a time, we can get there, and we can get to our finish line, kind of, because I feel like I just said, when we get to that finish line of goal one, or wherever we are in our goal, maybe we've built in some milestones that we can hit, that we're like, oh my gosh, I got a quarter of the way through, and I showed myself, and you're showing yourself that you're showing up, that you're making progress, and that you can make it to the next milestone. These are the things that allow us to move forward with our goals, that we're giving ourselves space to get prepared, that we're giving ourselves time to plan out the goal and see it all. I like to write it all out, giving ourselves the patience to work through the goal and see those milestones, and then hopefully coming out here and getting some inspiration too, because I'm not perfect with my goals. I like to show these tips. I like to say what I'm working on and kind of my failures also. Because last year, as an example, like I created this planner for YouTubers. It's a video planner that you can plan all your things. I was planning on publishing that last year and letting it be available to everybody, and I didn't. I let fear kind of take over with this goal, and I took it off of Kickstarter, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I can't do it. And I learned from that. And at the time, it felt like a failure. And I was like, I've spent 6 months on this and I just wasted all that time. And looking back on that, I learned so much from that process. I'm coming out with a different planner this year, one that I feel extremely confident with. I'm so excited with this planner. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. And I can't wait to use it myself. But I learned from that process. It wasn't a failure. Like, we learn from those mistakes, kind of maybe down that road that wasn't quite right, but if we veer a little bit to the right, we'll get on that right road. So thank you for joining me. If you're on the live today, we're going to wrap it up. And I know it was kind of a long rant about tackling our 2026 goals, but as we finish, I'll do a little conclusion. Going at this year in a way that is sustainable, that we can not push ourselves to our limit to the point where we're not going to move forward and be overwhelmed and stressed and then feel like we failed, right? That's not the point. That's not the point of these goals. The point is to live through them, take them one step at a time, feel accomplished, feel proud of ourselves, to the point where we're able to move to the next step, that we're moving on, not to completely reinvent ourselves. I don't think that you can do that if you want to, but not to the point where we're like, oh, I'm a new me now. You're still you. You're still your wonderful self, and maybe a little bit more improved. Maybe you have more knowledge or more experience or having more joy with that goal. Making this planner was extremely joyful. I loved the whole creative side of it. That was what was kind of kept me going throughout the process, even when it did get hard. So hopefully you'll come back. I'm planning on kind of the breakdown of my YouTube channel. This is my goal for this year, is I want to go live on Sundays, or at least once a week. I'm planning Sundays because I feel like Monday is a fresh start every week, and a lot of people don't like Mondays. And hi, if you're on the live, thanks for being here. A lot of people don't like Mondays, and I don't know if you watched that movie Office Space, but she said the case of the Mondays. But I feel like it's a fresh start because now you have the whole week to get everything done. So that's kind of fun. So Sunday kind of setup time, Sunday setup for your week. And then I want to go do a couple shorts per week and a long form video. Bring you some tips and some inspiration to go for your goals. I'm a busy working mom, and I was talking to my daughter today that a lot of people, and I'm not saying this is bad, but they do come to me and they're like, how did you write your books? And how do you do your YouTube channel and all this? And I'm like, I don't watch a lot of TV. I do watch YouTube. I do watch a lot of YouTube. My daughter reminded me that, hey, that's the same as watching TV. But I do go for my goals, and I feel very passionate about this topic. So I feel like I have a lot to share and a lot of energy and inspiration to bring to you. So thank you for being here, and hopefully you'll come back because I want to talk about our goals for this year together and make it in a way that we can inspire each other and motivate each other with some tips or some kind of keep going energy. Like, let's just keep going. It's January 4th. It's kind of easy to keep going at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of our goal. But then when it gets time to February or March, I know that when I go to the gym, I go swim at the gym, and right now, like yesterday, the pool was full. It was busy. All the classes, like walking through the gym, was busy. But then I know, next month it's gonna kind of die down and not as many people there because we kind of fall off of our goals. So hopefully I'm gonna come out here, not hopefully, I know I'll be here. Hopefully you'll be here too, to just encourage you to keep going. And it can be a little bit at a time. And I think that's all I want to say today. So thanks for being here on the live or for tuning in afterwards. And I will see you in the next videos. Bye.